All right, you're watching Superskum.com. I'm here with Gus G of Firewind. He's been nice enough to give us some of his time and answer a few questions. Thanks for your time, Gus.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
You're about halfway through the Guards of Glory tour with Turices. How's the tour gone so far?
Really good, man. It's been great crowds every night. Really good response. I think we're making a lot of new fans, crossing over to a different type of audience, which is cool. So yeah, enjoying it. Yeah.
Last year, you released Few Against Many.
Mm-hmm.
How's the fan reaction been to that album?
It's been really good, both press and fans' reaction. I mean, it's been really good feedback actually from everybody. So it's a kind of slightly different album for a Firewind album. It's a bit heavier than the previous ones. But yeah, everybody is really digging the songs, and we try to put in as many as we can on the set list, and people sing they already know the lyrics and they sing along and stuff. So yeah.
And the new album includes a track called Edge of a Dream that features Apocalyptica. How did the collaboration with them come about?
It was just a crazy idea that I had. I heard the song, the piano ballad that Bob and Apollo did together, and I said, we should have Apocalyptica play some cellos on that, and everybody was laughing at me. We were like, they will never do it. But we just sent them the demo to their management, and they got back to us a few days later, and they said, yeah, cool, we love the track, we'd love to play on it. It was as simple as that.
December of 2012, marked the 10th anniversary of Firewind, and you played 4 shows in Greece to mark the anniversary. Can you talk a little bit about those shows, what they meant to the band?
Well, it was pretty cool to do it back home, because we have some of our most hardcore following back there. We played four shows, 2 in Thessaloniki in our hometown, 2 in Athens, all sold out. It was great vibe, great atmosphere. We recorded all of those shows for an upcoming live album, but we also recorded most of the shows of our European tour last year. So we were actually working on a live album right now to kind of like celebrate the 10th year anniversary of the band. Yeah, it's and it's been 5 years since we put out our first live album, so it would be good to put out some live material out there with the newer songs.
Now, along with this live album to celebrate the 10th anniversary, are there any more plans, like any more releases that are going to help celebrate it?
No, I mean we've done like a reissue of The Premonition last month. It's part of a campaign that Century Media is doing. It's called Metal for the Masses. So basically, it's repackaging older albums and putting a nice price on it. So we re-released The Premonition. I'm not sure if there's going to be more. There's talks about some box set package. I'm not sure about it yet because it's not been approved or confirmed, but there are talks about these kind of things. I think it helps that this year is also Century Media's 25th anniversary as a record label, so I think they're going to be doing a lot of those special packages. So hopefully we're going to be involved a little bit more in that.
And a Firewind box set would be pretty cool.
I think so too, yeah. When I first heard the possible idea for that, I'm like, yes, because we never had something like that. It would be cool to kind of like box, 3 or 4 albums together.
You guys released Few Against Many in North America on your own record label. Was that a planned move, and can fans expect to see more Firewind releases on their own label?
Yes, it was because, we wanted to kind of like... I mean, North America is still a newfound market for and territory for Firewind. We've not toured as hard here as we have done in Europe, and I just felt like we needed a bigger investment, so to speak of, and with our history here, it would not be as easy to go to a label like Century Media and convince them for that, and we thought that the best way to do this is to do it on our own, and it's worked out pretty nice so far. I don't have to argue with anybody at the label because I'm the label. So it's been good, man. It's good. It's a lot more work, but it pays off. Yeah.
Continuing, I guess, with your own record label, are there plans to expand it to bring other bands in, or are you just going to stick, solely with Firewind and possibly your own solo releases? Yeah,
probably. For now, I'm just going to keep it at that, and see how it goes. I mean, I barely have time to do anything else these days, so I mean, I cannot imagine how it would be like to take care of somebody else's album. So no, not for now. Unless it grows into something really big, Let's see.
Few Against Many. It reached #1 in your native Greece.
Yep.
Can you talk a little bit what that meant for Firewind and, I guess, in a broader spectrum, the metal community?
Well, it's something that we can all be proud of. I mean, it's our first #1 album, and I mean, everybody, all the metalheads in Greece, I think they're proud of this. And actually, I got a lot of phone calls from a lot of international press because they were like, congratulations for that, but not only for that, for the #1 record, but also because you managed to get Justin Bieber out of #1, and he's number 2. So that was kind of like a victory for heavy metal, I guess. Yeah.
Anytime you can knock Bieber down a peg, I think it's a good thing.
Exactly.
For everybody, not just the metal community.
I have nothing against the guy. I don't know. I'm sure he's working hard. I don't know. But it was cool.
Firewind started in '98, but I guess the band's start was delayed because you were asked to join.
Well, the first album came out 2002.
Yeah.
So it was like 4 years of sending demos back and forth to labels.
And I guess part of that too was, right, you were asked to join Night Rage, Dream Evil, and Mystic Prophecy.
I was working with a bunch of bands at the same time, correct.
Did your time with those bands help who Firewind was going to be?
Well, it definitely was a big school for me to work with different musicians, write with different people, write with producers, be in the studio, do albums, play gigs. It was just like, it was that's how I got my start, basically. And I was learning every day, and that really helped me to bring up Firewind. Yes, for sure, that whole experience.
In mid-January of this year, Firewind went through a lineup change as Apollo Papathanassio quit the band. Has a search for a new singer started? And what are you looking for in a new singer?
Well, obviously, we got Kelly Sundown Carpenter filling in on this tour, and he's doing an amazing job. We're not gonna rush the decision to get somebody permanent in the band. I don't think we're not even in a rush to go back in the studio right now. 7 studio albums in 10 years is already a lot. So, well, what we would be looking in a singer is first of all to be able to commit 200% into this. To be serious about this, and not only have the voice kind of, but you also need to have a special kind of person that you can tour with and be on a tour bus for months, and because you're up there on that stage for 1 hour a day, then what do you do for the next 23 hours? It has to be somebody who can really gel with the rest of us. So we'll see. We're gonna take our time with this.
Right. Well, we look forward to seeing who or how the process pans out.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get to a question I guess everybody wants to know about. In 2009, you got an opportunity that pretty much everybody else in the world, or at least the metal community, can only dream about, that you got hired on as Ozzy Osbourne's guitar player. What was the process like for this, and what challenges did you face both in joining the band and as a member of the band?
Well, it was actually a crazy experience. I got an email from his management, and they said that they were thinking about me for the guitar player position, and they asked me if I would be interested to audition. So I said, fuck yeah. Just flew down to LA, learned a bunch of songs, and it was amazing. It was the day of the day of the audition was the best day of my life. That's when I got the gig as well. Obviously it's a big challenge. It's a pretty big spot, and there's a lot of pressure going into that thing, just like with the entertainment business is a lot of pressure, the music business is a lot of pressure, but I approached the gig with a lot of love and a lot of respect for who was there before me, and as a fan, and I try to do the songs justice, basically, and but at the same time I need to be my own man, and I'm not trying to copy anybody there, because you cannot really be those guys there, you cannot replace Randy Rhoads, Jake Lee, or Zakk Wylde. Those guys are guys of their own, so and that's what Ozzy also told me as well. He's like, you have to be Gus, and that's what I'm doing.
You've stated, I guess, in the past that Firewind is your priority. How do you balance Firewind and I guess your solo album and any other side projects that you might be in, including Ozzy?
Well, obviously Ozzy it's the main gig, that's a very big gig and a very big commitment, and I'm always there, committed, 200% to that. And when I'm not working with Ozzy nowadays, I go back and I do the Firewind tours and the Firewind albums, and just trying to split up my time and according to the schedule, really. And and Ozzy, we worked for 18 months, for example, but now he's back with Sabbath, and that's gonna take probably another year of his life, and I got all the time of the world to do. To play with Firewind or even work on a solo record. Who would have thought? So it's pretty crazy. Every day can be pretty crazy, and things can change any minute, but you have to be prepared for that.
Speaking of your solo record, can you give us any update on the process of that?
There's not really much to say so far. I'm just in the writing process. I don't have a label for that. I'm not sure if I'm going to put it on my own label, probably, unless something else comes up. We'll see. I've been writing with a couple of really good singers. I've been writing some instrumentals, and that's all I got right now. You know, I'm kind of like, I'm actually, when I go back home, I'm gonna finish from this tour. I'm gonna finish the writing on it, and then kind of like try and get more serious about it.
Can you give us any insight on what singers you're working with?
I can't say so far. Sorry.
Well, I tried.
Yeah.
So
But they're really good. Yeah.
Right. The readers of Guitar Player magazine voted you the best metal guitarist of 2012. Is there a special significance to an award that's voted on by the fans?
Yeah, because I guess it means that what you do out there, some people pay attention to that and they appreciate that, and that's how they reward you, I guess, and that means everything to me. You know, it's not about being best or better than anybody else. It's just that the acknowledgement from the people, you know, who listen to your music, and that is everything, flat out. Yeah, and it also makes me want to be a better player now. You know, I feel like I have to live up to something now.
Firewind has included a number of cover songs on their albums, including Michael Cimbello's 1983 hit "Maniac." What goes into the process of choosing a cover song, and what led you to choose "Maniac"?
You know what? It's not such a crazy story as you might think. It was just like we were sitting in the studio one night, and Bob said, we were actually just looking to, the label was pushing us to have an extra track, and I'm like, all right, whatever, let's just fucking do a cover thing. And then Bob said, how about Maniac? It was just like right on our spot. Yeah, why not? We just put on the click track on the computer. I just started laying down some rhythm tracks, and then our then drummer Marky went in, started playing the drums, and kind of like it came together within a couple of hours. It was just like in the studio as we were recording the album. We had no clue we were gonna do this. Came out pretty good, I think.
A lot of your stuff kind of, I guess, there's some 80s vibes in your songs. Did the 80s,
totally.
did the 80s music scene have an influence on Firewind?
Well, I guess I'm an 80s kid, you know, so born in 80. So yeah, grew up in the 80s. I love that scene. I love hard rock and metal from the 80s and the 70s as well. So yeah, you can hear those influences for sure.
How would you define success for both yourself and Firewind?
Define success. I don't know. I mean, success for me is that I'm able to make a living of what I love doing, playing guitar. And obviously, you know, you're at the top when you're playing for as a guitar player, you're playing for a guy like Ozzy Osbourne. It just doesn't get any better than that. So and I'm also very proud of what we've achieved with Firewind over the years, because you know, we're coming from Greece is not the easiest thing, playing heavy metal from Greece, but we managed to kind of like break those borders and have an international career. We've managed to play everywhere in the world, get some of our albums in the charts in some countries around the world. We have a following all around the world, so that's something you can be proud of, you know.
So what does the future hold for, I guess, both yourself as well as Firewind?
Well, I mean, I hope I can continue making music, you know, making kick-ass records, and basically that's what I'm planning on doing. I think Firewind is going to go back after this tour, do some festivals in Europe. After that, I have no idea what we're going to do, because right now I'm going to try and get my solo record together, and then who knows, maybe it's going to be time for another Ozzy Osbourne record. So we see how it goes, you know. I guess it would be stupid for me to kind of like plan out the next 2 or 3 years of my life when you never know when that call is going to come in, you know.
Yeah. So this is your time. If there's anything you'd like to say to your fans or any message you'd like to get out there, feel free to do so.
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for supporting us all these years. It's been a pleasure to play here in America again and be part of the Guards of Glory tour. Hopefully you've caught us on the road. If not, hopefully you'll see this one and come out to a show. And yeah, thank you for the interview.